Hello, my name is Corey and I would like to welcome you back to the Declutter house. For the past few weeks, I've been working on wrapping up a client project of mine, and having wrapped that up in last week's video, today I am very excited to share with you 5 simple tips that you can do today for very little money to update and refresh your home without a huge makeover where you replace everything in the room. Now, to start, tip number 1 is actually tips 1 through 3, and they're gonna be pretty obvious, and that is to clean, declutter, and organize. But I'm gonna go a step further with each one of these. Number 1, cleaning. It does not matter how beautiful your house looks, how put together everything is, how much money you've spent. If you walk into your house and it does not smell good, nobody's gonna be paying attention to the way that it looks. So when you clean your home, tackle the things that hold on to smells the most, especially if you have kids or pets. Dusting, vacuuming, cleaning out your drains, taking out the trash, washing your linens and your upholstery, things like that, the things that hold on to smell. Focus on cleaning those items and finding a routine to help maintain those so you can eliminate the unpleasant odors at their source. And then once you're at a base neutral odor level, then you can go in and add your pleasant scents through your wall plugins, your candles, your incense, your things like that. You don't want to mask a bad scent. You want to eliminate the bad scent and then replace it with a more pleasant one. That way your beautiful, pleasant, well put together home is easy to take in from all of your senses. Number 2 is to declutter. And this one is obvious. If you have a bunch of things everywhere, boxes on the floor, just general clutter, we all know that that is not the most visually pleasing. So to take it a step further, when you have a styled surface, whether that be your coffee table or a credenza or shelves or whatever the surface is, when it is styled, think about how many items are actually on that surface. Rather than having a bunch of small items that may go together and may be arranged in a way that looks great, think about swapping those out for fewer but bigger items. Play with the design principle of scale and leave some negative space around your items. Although your little items, like I said, may match or go together or be beautiful, when there's a lot of them, it's difficult for your eye to take it all in and appreciate each piece. Whereas when there are larger pieces and fewer of them with more negative space around them, your eye is able to take in the whole scene more easily, but also see each individual piece and appreciate it to its full capacity. The third tip is to organize. And again, let's go beyond the obvious. It can be hard to balance the functional and aesthetic aspects of the pieces in our space. For example, I love the $75 to $150 designer blankets. However, I have 3 dogs. If I put those on my couch, they are gonna stink, so I'm gonna have to wash them more often, and that's gonna cause them to deteriorate faster over time. Also, the dogs' nails may catch them, so they may snag and tear more easily, and I have one in particular that likes to destroy things, so 1,000,000% that designer blanket is going to get destroyed. So on our couch, we keep the micro velour blankets we've had for years and years and years that are in different colors and patterns, and they're just, they maybe don't match the aesthetic vision that I have for my house. However, rather than leaving those blankets strewn across my couch and piled up, yes, technically that's the place for them, is on the couch. However, to balance the aesthetic appeal of that, getting a large scale basket, folding the blankets up and putting them down in it hides all those colors and patterns away that don't match my style, but that are easy to grab and pull out when I want to use them and snuggle with my dogs on the couch. I can keep 6 blankets in the basket, but only maybe use 2 at a time. That way it's easy to take those 2 at the end of the week and wash them and replace them immediately with fresh, clean ones. Again, tying back into tip number 1 about the cleanliness and the odors and the things like that. And this tip of finding beautiful, functional storage, organizational solutions can be applied to many different areas of your home. Think your entryway table. Rather than throwing your keys just sitting on the table, you can have a nice decorative bowl to keep your keys in. On your nightstand, rather than taking your jewelry off at night and just setting them on your nightstand or in like an acrylic container, find a decorative plate from the thrift store or an antique piece of pottery that's maybe more sentimental and take your jewelry items off and place it in that at night. So that way they stay corralled, but it is still a beautiful piece to look at. There are so many ways that you can use beautiful storage baskets, bowls, trays, anything like that to hide the items that we can't get rid of, like our Wi-Fi modem and cords, but we don't necessarily want to see out all the time. Tips number 4 and 5 then turn to things you can add into your home rather than playing around with the things that already exist. Number 4 being your textiles. Your throw pillows, your blankets, and even your curtains are pretty easy and affordable to swap out for the most part. This one does have the potential to get expensive, but there are definitely budget-friendly options out there. Keeping your same pillow inserts and just swapping out the covers is a great way, one, to effectively store things. You only have to store a cover that you can fold up neatly that's this big rather than a full-size pillow. And additionally, those covers can be washed more easily to help, again, tie back to tip number 1 of reducing the odors and increasing the cleanliness of your home. But there are also just so many fun, colorful, patterned options, textured options that can match any style in any home and be layered in a beautiful way to create a cozy, personal atmosphere to you that you can easily switch up when you need a quick refresh. 2 places that I love to source pillow covers in particular are Etsy and H&M Home. There are some beautiful options out there, and a lot of times you can find something super affordable. That way you can switch things out seasonally if you're a seasonal decorator, or just if you want to change your color palette up, keep your furniture and your walls and everything neutral, and through your curtains and blankets and pillows and your decor, bring in your colors and patterns. That way you can switch them up as you need. I know I've been talking a lot about pillows, but the same thing can be applied to your blankets and your curtains as well. Textiles are a great way to create a cozy, layered feeling, and most of the time, they're super easy and affordable to swap out for a quick refresh. Now, tip number 5 is probably my favorite because it's really where your home becomes yours, and it's relatively easy to do because it's incorporating personal items that mean something to you and are personal to you into the decor of your home. Don't get me wrong, Target, Walmart, IKEA, they have some great pieces at a great price, and they are beautiful, but your home really goes up to that next level when you communicate your personality into your home. You don't want your home to look like Walmart or Target or Amazon. You want your home to look like you. So mixed in with those more affordable big box store pieces, incorporate those items that nobody else is gonna have, and that might start a conversation with your guests when they come over. This can look like family pictures. I personally am not a family picture kind of person in my home, but that is one way you can do it. However, I mean this in more of an abstract way. When you go traveling, rather than picking up keychains and postcards and things like that that you may never look at again and want to get rid of in 5 years, but feel obligated to keep, when you travel, go to a local decor shop or a local craft studio, or my favorite, an antique store, and pick up a unique piece that may not say I Heart New York, showing that you've been to New York. Go to an antique store, pick out a vase that it's just a vase, but when you bring it home and you look at it, you know, I got that piece on this trip to New York, and on that trip we did XYZ activity, and you can have it out and it's beautiful, and it's a constant reminder of all of those memories. And when somebody comes over and compliments you on your vase, you can say, oh, I got that on this trip, and you can share that memory with them. Another way is sentimental items that have been passed down through your family, incorporating those into your decor, or even finding a new item that maybe doesn't actually hold sentimental value from your past, but you can attach sentiment to it. For example, I have this memory with one of my grandmothers of going and picking figs. We went to my great grandmother's house, my great aunt's house, my grandmother's own house, and picked figs off of their fig trees and made fig preserves, a treat that I absolutely love. And that's a memory with that particular grandmother that I cherish and I think about really often. So one way to cherish that memory for me is, one, now that I live in a climate that can support it, I planted a fig tree in my own backyard. But also, I could go on Etsy and find a print of a fig, or find an artist that has done an oil painting of a fig and hang it up in my kitchen or my dining room. And although that's not a piece that's been passed down through my family, I can associate that memory with my grandmother to that painting, and it can remind me of that every time I see it. And it may not make sense to everybody who comes into my home, but it would be a fun, quirky piece that I could explain and elaborate upon that memory to them. It's these personal touches that really speak to who you are and bring your personality into your home. And it's a great way to reuse those pieces to refresh and update your home now if they've just been hidden away and stored in a box somewhere in your attic. So there you have it. There are 5 simple tips that you can do today for very little money to update your home without a full renovation. Cleaning, decluttering, organizing, updating your textiles, and adding personal touches are all quick, easy ways to make your home feel new again. Let me know in the comments which one you will try first. And if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing if you have not for more design-related advice. And until next time, I am wishing you all my best. You can see some other personal touches scattered throughout this video. The dish I put my jewelry in on my nightstand is something I made in my high school ceramics class. The buffalo print that I hung above this dresser reminds me of my home in Wyoming.